And then the address is, there we go, Memorial, Hermann. Let's see how long it says it's going to take us to get there. Not bad, 54 minutes. All right, let me make sure I'm on. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, it's like charging on a EV is like completely different than like a gas car. So like in a regular gas car, you are almost always gonna, like, you go to the gas station, you're gonna fill up to 100, fill the tank up.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna almost always run it down to like a quarter tank or below, right? People are, almost everybody fills up the tank. And then people are different on where their comfort level is on, when do I pull it? Some people are like, oh my God, the light's on, right?
I don't do that, John. I'm at half a tank.
You're at a half a tank. So you're pretty, you stay pretty safe. But most people I would say are like at a quarter tank, right? Like most people would be like, oh, I'm at a quarter tank, so I'm gonna pull over and fill up. And then you got your twos of the world that literally the red light is their sign to go get gas, right? So with electric vehicles, it's different. Most people operate in that 20 to 80% range. So what that means is, we had the right of way. You almost never charge above 80%. Really, the only time anybody will charge above 80% is if they're on like a long road trip. But just for like daily use, like today, we're going to the hospital and back, or somebody that works downtown, or whatever it is they're doing, they're going to stay in that 20 to 80% range. And the reason why is physics. So like, one of the, and I'll just say it, one of the benefits of a gasoline powered engine, right, and this is really probably the only one, is that if I've got a 15-gallon tank that I got to fill up, the amount of time that it takes to put that first gallon in or the 15th gallon in is exactly the same, right? It's the volume, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, if it takes me 10 minutes to fill up a 15-gallon tank, and I know it probably doesn't take that, but let's just say if it takes 10 minutes, or let's just make it easy. If it took 15 minutes to fill up a 15-gallon tank, it's going to be a minute for each gallon. There's no difference. Batteries are different. So the best analogy that I've heard on how batteries get recharged is like going to a Texans football game. So if I show up, if the Texans game is at noon and I show up to the parking lot at 10 a.m., I'm gonna find a parking spot pretty easy, right?
Yeah. But
if I show up at 11:50, I'm probably gonna be driving around that parking lot for a while trying to find an available spot. Well, batteries are exactly the same way, in that if the battery's really, pretty low, that first, like going from say 0% to like 40 to 50% is like that. Like it's actually faster than filling up a gas engine. It goes quick. But once you get to about 50 or 60%, it really starts slowing down. To the point where you can go, God, and don't hold me to this, but you can go from like 20% to 50%. That's just 30% battery power. You can go from 20% to 50% faster than you can go from 90 to 100. So like, when you're trying to get it to 100, so like when people say, oh, it takes 45 minutes to charge a battery. Well, yeah, if you're going from 0 to 100%, but nobody does that. Everybody stays in that 20 to 80% range. So when I'm on the road, what I generally do, and part of this may be my age, I can't be on the road longer than 3 or 4 hours without stopping. Like, I need to go to the bathroom. I want to get up and walk around, right? So I don't necessarily want to be sitting in a vehicle nonstop for 5 or 6 hours, right? I want to get out every 3 to 4 hours. So about 60% charge will get me that. So I stay in that 20 to 80% range. In fact, sometimes when I'm on the road, I stay in that 10 to 60% range. And so I'll stop to charge and go in and use the bathroom and get some snacks and whatnot. And if I get to 60 or somewhere between 60 to 70%, I get out of there. I get back on the road, and I'll basically look for my next charging stop will be when I get somewhere in that 10 to 15, 10 to 20% range. And so that's what most people who that drive EVs or definitely drive Teslas, that's what I know of myself personally, is we all stay pretty much in that 20 to 80% range for daily use. But then when we're on the road, we stay in that 10 to 60% range. Because you think about it, in this car right here, 50% of juice will get me just about 200 miles. And if you think of, so it's like a 0 to 100%. If this battery was fully 100%, I can probably get 370, 380 miles out of it. But I never operate like that. So if I think about it in terms of 50% juice, that's going to get me, somewhere around 175 to 200 miles, which when you think about it, that's about 3 to 4 hours, 3 to 3.5 hours of driving. And I don't know about you, Sin, but whether I'm in a regular internal combustion gas powered car or an EV, I like to get out and walk around every 3 to 4 hours when I'm on the road. Don't get me wrong, I know some people are just road warriors and they've got the Gatorade bottle to get ready to what. And I just want to go. I want to be able to get to where I'm 2,000 miles from now, and I want to be able to say I made it in 17 minutes, 40 minutes, that sort of thing. But that's about 0.01% of the country, right? Most people actually want to pull over and walk around every 3 to 4 hours, or use the bathroom or something like that. So that's why I'm able to stay in that. And the other benefit of staying in that 10 to 60% range is I can do it in like 10 minutes. So like if I pull into a supercharger at 10%, I go inside, use the bathroom, maybe get a soda, a bottle of water, maybe a snack, something like that. By the time I'm back out to my car, it's at 60%, and I just unplug and go. So I've had charging sessions on a long road trip that were literally 6 or 7 minutes, where I literally just pulled over, plugged in, went and used the bathroom, got a Coke Zero, came out to my car, unplugged, and just got back on the road. And I, got about 30 to 40% more juice. And I just go to the next charger. And so it's a completely different way of a mentality of traveling than a regular car, right? You just go, I fill up, and then I keep going until it's a quarter tank or until I need to pee real bad, right? So yeah, you do have to adjust the way that you travel a little bit. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's probably the best analogy I've heard when I've tried to tell people why it's different, is because of the actual physics, the chemistry of, well, I shouldn't say physics, it's actually chemistry of how a battery gets recharged versus how a gas tank is filled up. A gas tank is physics, right? It's volume like that, and the first gallon is going to be the exact same amount of time to fill up the 15th gallon in a 15-gallon tank. But the chemistry, the battery chemistry, is totally different. Like that, if you pull into a charger at 10%, you will get to 60%. I mean, don't hold me to this math, but you might get there in 10 to 15 minutes. I mean, like lightning quick. It just bolts. But once you get to 60%, it slows down. So if you were to get to 60% and sit there and say, well, I want to go all the way to 100, you may be there another 40 minutes just to get the exact same amount of power that you went from say 20 to 60. It may take you 4 times as long to go 60 to 100. In fact, it will. So that's how I operate when I'm on a road trip. When I'm at home, I just plug it. Oh, we're stopped and it's asking me to. That was weird. I don't know why it did that. Like literally we were stopped here. Let's see if I move up a little bit, if it'll re-engage. Not yet. I have to wait till that. But did you see that? That was like, we were stopped.
Yeah, have that ever happened?
Yeah, it happens. I don't know what. There we go. I mean, I don't have any explanation for that. It was literally stopped. Like it wasn't doing anything. So I equate that to like a nag on steroids. But it's just weird that the system will do that. Remember when we were going to the hospital last time? Remember we were like literally stopped and it did that. So I don't know, sometimes it's just the, like I said, it's this system is still in supervision mode, and so this is the way I look at it, is they're still really overly cautious with the software. So the one that's the most evident of how cautious they are is the cabin camera. So right now, that camera right there has got eagle eyes on me. And so if I don't keep my head pointed directly at the windshield pretty much the entire time, I can look away for maybe a second or two to look to my left or right, but if I don't get back, it'll beep at me. And I think when it throws up those red hands, like even when you're parked, it's basically the system just making sure that you are there and ready to take over at any moment. So it's just part of the overall cautiousness of it. But yeah, that's like, so when you ask like, oh, you're only at 79%. Well, honestly, I never go above 80. Like and the other thing too is you don't want to charge your battery above 80% too often. Just the way battery chemistry works is you kind of want to stay in that 20 to 80% range for a battery health perspective, because batteries can last a long time. There are Teslas out there. In fact, the car that was before the Tesla, what was it? That Chevy Bolt, whatever. But electric car batteries can last 20 plus years in a lot of cases. So they last. The battery in this car is going to last way longer than the actual body of the car will. Right? They last a long time. And so people that own Teslas or EVs, that is the main thing that you want to take care of. So like you think about like in a internal combustion engine car, the things that you're focused on are like engine health, right? So I want to get regular oil changes. I want to make sure, check my the fluids in my transmission and everything centered around the engine, right? I want to make sure that my engine health stays good to go, because I want to try to get 10 years out of this engine, right? But if I don't change my oil regularly, if I don't check my radiator fluid, my transmission fluid, and the belts and everything, then eventually that's going to be really, really hard on my engine. Now, don't get me wrong. Can you run the engine without changing the oil after 10, 15,000 miles? Absolutely you can. But you know this better than I do. Is that smart? No, because you're gonna be really hard on that engine, and it's not gonna last as long. And so for a EV, the primary focus is on the actual battery pack. That is the linchpin, if you will, of the electric vehicle. And so when you think about battery health, there's no oil change you need to do for a battery. There's no, you don't have to go change belts. You don't have to check a radiator or anything like that. But you do want to make sure that you're doing anything and everything you can do to make it last as long as possible. And one of the best things you can do long term for battery health is to stay in that below 80%. So the only time I go above 80% is on road trips. And you can do that. I mean, Tesla and all the other EV makers, they're like, yeah, if you just do it when you're going on road trips, that's not an issue. But for just like daily use, for the other 95% of the time you're driving an EV, you want to keep it below 80%. So that makes your battery last as long as you can possibly let it. But I'll tell you too, I don't ever need it to go above 80% for daily use. So like, we started off at 79%. I'm going to be at 67 when we get to Memorial Hermann. Means when we get back home, I'll be at about 55, somewhere between 50 to 55%. I'll probably use up a little bit in the parking lot, just keeping the car cool and all that. But let's just say we're at 55%. Okay, well, great. When I get home, I'm going to plug back in, and I'll be back up to 80 by the next day. So I'm like literally right back to where we started the next day. And you see my charger, I don't have some special charging apparatus. I trickle charge right out of a 12-volt wall outlet in the garage. Does all that make sense?
Yeah.
But I will tell you, it's a mentality shift. And that's why a lot of folks, I think, are scared of EVs, is because of that mentality shift, that it's a whole different way of operating a vehicle. And so folks are, I was the same way until 2 years ago, right? You know me, I didn't own a Tesla or an EV until 2 years ago. So I was in that same camp, like, I didn't know all of this. What I tell a lot of folks who are interested, like I've had folks come up to me in parking lots from time to time and even tell me like, man, I'm really interested in Tesla. I love the tech, because it's far and away, it's the most tech savvy car there is, right? All the stuff you can do. You can play video games in this car, right? If you like, not while we're driving, but the internal software, you can watch movies, play video games. And so that's just the entertainment part of it. All the diagnostic data it gives you, I mean, it's far and away better on that than in it. So a lot of people who are tech savvy, who really like high tech, are interested in a Tesla, but they're still scared of the difference between an EV, and they don't like range anxiety. They don't want to get stuck on the side of the road. And so what I always tell a lot of those folks is like, look, don't get rid of your regular car, but why don't you do this? Go get a used Tesla, like a 2018 or 2019 or 2020 Model 3, that literally you can go buy those for for what the battery pack costs nowadays. Like there are older Model 3s out there people are buying for $15,000 right now. And it's like, so don't get rid of your car. Just go get one of these used Model 3s and putt around in it. Get used to it, you know? And I think that resonates with a lot of folks. I think they're like, the ones that are scared of it, I think it resonates with them like, you know, I'm scared of it, but I'm really, really interested in it. I really want to see what it's like. So like, hey, if you were gonna keep your gas car anyway, just go get some little used, like treat it like you would a Toyota Corolla. Like if you were gonna go get a 2015 Toyota Corolla that's $10,000, you know, to kind of have it, you know, as a backup car. Well, instead of doing that, go get yourself a 2020 Model 3 for $15,000 and dip your toe in that way. And I think there's a large group of people that resonates with them. Yeah, so it takes a lot of education. I had to get educated quite a bit when I first bought my Tesla. And I'm still getting educated. It's been, what, April? So not even 2 years yet. So I'm still getting educated every single month on different things about, you know, living with a Tesla and completely dependent on an electric vehicle. The biggest one for me was that operating in the 20 to 80% range. That was something I, like, once I got educated on that and saw how it worked, I was like, oh, okay, I get it now. And it does work that way. So that helped me quite a bit. And then just how reliable the Tesla supercharger network is and how prolific it is. It's all over the place. So people don't think there's a lot of chargers because they never see them, because you don't go to the chargers, right? There's no reason for you to go to a Tesla supercharger when you don't have a Tesla. But once you do, you're like, holy crap, there are a lot of Tesla supercharger stations all over the country. So you're never out of reach of one. It's just folks aren't going to know that until you have one, right? Like you have no reason to navigate and drive to a Tesla supercharger when you don't have a Tesla. But once you do, you realize just how prolific a network it is. Now, don't get me wrong, it ain't like gas stations. Like, obviously, I could get off this exit right here at Tidwell, go up to the intersection, and I could probably put $10 down right now that there's at least 2 gas stations at that intersection, right? Like one over here and one over there. So you're not going to be that prolific. It's not that prolific. But here's the thing. We don't need it to be that prolific. And folks ask me, like, really? Why wouldn't you want to have superchargers at every station? It's like, well, no. Because here's another big difference. All the power I got, all 79% of that power, guess where I got it from? My home wall outlet in my garage. Well, how many people are getting their gas out of their garage? 0. Well, I shouldn't say 0. There's probably some knucklehead out there that keeps big old containers of gasoline in his garage, which I wouldn't recommend. But that's another huge difference, is I get all my power from my garage. So I don't need to go to a Shell station or a Valero or something like that. Whereas if you're operating a gas car, you're getting 100% of your juice from an outside third party, right, on the road. So that's why you don't need as many EV charging stations as you do need gas stations. Does that make sense? Are you you're asleep. Never. Did I put you to sleep?
No, it made sense.
I was like, I think I put you to sleep. I'm sorry, Sin. You were like, man, that was a mistake to ask JC about.
No, just the meds. I gotta practice on sitting still anyways.
That's good. That's good.
Gotta sit still for about an hour and a half in this rain.
There you go. Well, we're not that far away. About 15 more miles. Definitely an easier commute today than it was. I forget what day was that. Was that Tuesday or Monday that we went?
23rd was probably Monday.
So you're getting your MRI today.
Yeah.
So that's going to take a little bit longer than the X-ray you got.
A lot longer.
A lot longer. Did he tell you how long you're going to have to be?
Just be ready for me in 2 hours.
Woo! That's no problem with that.
Yeah.
I'll probably, I don't know, do some stuff in my car, but I may just go.
Take a little stroll downtown.
Yeah.
Show what Houston's like on a Saturday.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, maybe do that. But I don't want to go too far away from you because, heck, I got surprised the last time you were in there.
Yeah.
Go a little different route. So we went 59 the whole way last time, and so this time it's gonna go to I-10 and cut over. My guess is that even though it's the weekend, that traffic is pretty bad on 59 once you get to like Greenway Plaza area. You know that area I'm talking about? You know, it slows way down. Downtown Houston. Looks like we got a little bit of congestion here as well. So I guess we're going to take 10 to 45 south. Get my sunglasses ready here in a second. Yeah. it's really trying. Something must have been really backed up on 59. Dallas Pierce. Yeah, 45 looks pretty bad too. I don't know if anything's going on this weekend, or is it just regular Saturday afternoon traffic?
Yeah, Houston's bad with traffic.
Yeah.
Too overcrowded.
Yep. Definitely. Last small handful of years, right? 3 or 4 years.
Got people from everywhere now.
Yep. Yep, absolutely. Okay, we're gonna stay on here. Go by the Allen Center. Well, so far it's picked a path that's kept us moving, and it's dropping time. So that's good. So we're gonna get off on Bagby.
Hello. Hey, how you been? Yeah, you just getting off work? Oh, okay. You do night shift over there? Oh, okay. What's going on with Burko? Oh, okay. You already gave your notice then? Oh, okay. That's cool. That's good to hear. I'm going for my MRI right now. So, yeah, I'll be out for like 3 months, and then hopefully I'll come back. And then if I'm able to come back, you know, if the doctors clear me to come back. But, you know, that's good though, man. Burko's a good company. Oh, he did? Yeah. Sheesh. That's with per diem? Oh, okay. Yeah, but right here, it's like an open opportunity. What Leo say? Yeah. Yeah. That's what's up. Yeah, get in that trade, learn what you do, but you know, you eventually gonna stick around. Trust me, I didn't think I'd stick around, but I stuck around. Yeah. Wait for that Christmas bonus. You're gonna be like, wow, I got a Christmas bonus. Everybody at the company looking for that Christmas bonus. I don't know how much it is though. You know, I never. You know, I'm gonna get one this year. Even though I'm on short-term disability, but I'm still with the company. Yeah. Yeah, it's. I mean, you know, I had surgery. You know what I mean? Stuff happens, but you know, they look out. Shit, they gave me a week's pay when I only worked 2 weeks, and they gave me drive time home. You know, this company cares, man. Trust me. But that's good though, man. You let me know when you get your work truck. Send me a picture of it. Let me see what it looked like. Oh, okay. But yeah, hell yeah, that's what's up. You'll probably see some of them boys used to work for Marche. You know, when we was at Marche, there was some guys from Berkeley. They wasn't there that long though. Remember, Cowboys, like, we got some guys that we are from our competitor, or I don't know if he said enemies, but he said competitors. I don't know what, I forgot what he said, but he said, and sometimes he would say Berkeley instead of Bechtel. That shit was funny. Well, I was calling to check up on you, Ma. Oh, okay. Enjoy your day. Okay. Let me know when you pass through Houston. We go get something to eat or something. Okay, you swoop through, pick me up, and we'll get something to eat. Let me know. All right, I stayed down by 59, but if it's out the way, it's out the way. You know what I mean? Don't worry about it if it's out the way. Okay. All right. Bye.
Got a buddy of yours?
Yeah, my friend. She used to be driving around. We was in Corpus. She was a, you know, the escort driver.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and in one of those vans, or yeah, in the vans.
Gotcha. Get
Like,
people around the site.
Right there in Corpus, and then she got laid off by Marche, but she's a fire watch right there at Samsung.
Oh,
but
nice.
she got her safety, and then I referred her, and they flew her out to Kansas, took her to a party, and then they about to get her work truck.
Nice.
She said they don't pay much, but you know, there's little perks.
Yeah.
I mean, they're gonna give her a work truck. You know, they're gonna rent her one.
Well, I'll tell you what, getting a work truck, that's a pretty big perk. I mean, you think about how much you're gonna save on a truck note and insurance, right?
Yeah.
That's a huge perk.
Yeah, she's on salary at $31, but they don't get per diem, but they'll give her expense.
Yeah.
You know.
So she gets 31 bucks an hour straight.
I'm not sure straight, but that's salary. I don't know how salary goes. But eventually, I'm going to have to take the same offer.
Oh, so she's not on per hour. So she gets 31K a year.
$31 an hour.
Oh, she's $31 an hour, but she works straight 8, no OT, and so that's when you say salary.
Yeah.
That's what. Yeah. Usually, when you say salary, that means somebody's not getting paid per hour. They're just you come in, you work your straight 8, and you get and that's it.
Yeah,
There's
but
no,
they don't work straight 8. They work overtime.
Yeah. Well, that can happen.
But I think they changed that though. So,
At the company she's at.
no, at Berkeley, I think there's got to be like a clause to that, like, you know, because you got to work weekends instead of 40 hours. You know.
Yeah.
There's got to be, you know. People on salary should get overtime too, you know.
Well, usually the way it works is people that are on salary, like there's pros and cons to both, right? So like if something happens, like you get rained out, well, guess what? If you're on salary, you get paid the exact same.
Yeah.
And there's usually additional benefits that come with salary that folks that are getting paid by the hour don't have. So it's give and take. You have to look at both and see which one works the best for you.
Yeah.
And at a certain point, like if you're in management and you get salaried, yeah, you're not going to get OT, but you're in management, right? That's you're helping run the business from a financial and operational standpoint. So you're also getting other benefits like stock options or equity and stuff like that. So you're incentivized to put in OT without getting paid for OT.
Yeah.
Because if you increase the value of the company, you obviously get a big piece of that.
Yeah. Plus, she gets to go home every 3 weeks, and there's perks, man.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Yeah, there's pros and cons to both of them.
Yeah.
You know, some people are like, nah, man, I just want to get paid. I want to know exactly how much I'm going to get paid every hour I work here. So you can pay me less straight 8 than a salaried person, but then I want a bunch of OT. I want to work hard, right? So that's kind of your mindset, right? Like you want to get paid for every hour that you work, right? Yeah. But you're willing to, like, if you were to compare the dollar per hour that they give you, that's probably going to be less on a straight 8 than somebody that's getting salaried. Usually, not always, but most of the time. But a lot of folks are willing to do that trade-off because they know that they're going to get a lot of OT, and they want to work that OT.
Yeah, she got a work vehicle too.
Yeah, work vehicles, that's a big perk. That's probably a really big one.
They're going to rent her one at first until they get her one.
Yeah. Well, either way, whether they rent it or get it, for her, it really makes no difference. Right? Well, I guess it does make a difference because if they rent it, then she may have a different one every month or so. Whereas she'd probably like to just have the same truck, no matter what.
And plus, they paying her 31. This is her first gig at it. And that's her first, time doing safety. So that's I see that's good money right there.
Yeah, 31 an hour.
Yeah, usually companies pay like safety like $24.
Oh, really?
But yeah,
I would think safety's pretty important.
Yeah, safety could go all the way up to $75 an hour.
Woo! That's pretty good. And safety doesn't involve as much of your back and your body, right?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe, is that something you
a lot
could?
Of paperwork and.
Yeah, well, you got to deal with that. Everything's a hassle.
You got to learn how to talk in front of like an audience.
Well, you can do that.
I'll love to do that.
You're a gregarious guy. You like to talk to people.
Yeah, I like to talk in front of an audience too. I might I get a little teary-eyed or whatever. You know what I mean?
Well, what's wrong with getting teary-eyed? You get people like folks to show emotion every once in a while, right? Because that shows they care. There's nothing wrong with that. I think you'd be good in that role, man. Because you're good with people. You like being around people. You like talking to people. I think that. So a lot of people can't do that job because they don't like to do that, or they can't do it. There are people, you've met them, that are really good workers, but they couldn't talk to save their life, right? Or they don't want to talk to people. They're literally just like, no, I want to I get here at 5 a.m. I'm gonna work my butt off till 5 p.m. and don't talk to me.
Yeah. I gotta learn how to write a report too.
How hard can that be? Heck, and plus with all the AI tools nowadays on computers, shit, it could write a report for you. I guarantee. See, remember that hump right there? That one was better in this lane than it was in that one.
Was that it?
Yeah. But I think we were in that lane last time. It must have been worse. Because that one, when we went over it last time, it felt like we were falling off a cliff.
Man, I thought you broke your axle.
I did too. Well, it wouldn't break the battery pack would be there for that, but yeah, it felt like we fell like 6 inches. But right here in this lane, it didn't feel that bad. Or maybe they came out and fixed it or something.
Nah, ain't no way. They gotta shut this whole thing. Yeah. You know how much traffic will back up?
Well, if you start destroying people's axles,
ain't no way. Something happened to the freeway, man. It was Carmageddon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they called it in California when they had to shut down the freeway and oh man.
I bet. Well, I mean, at a certain point you got to though, right? If you start destroying people's axles because of a 9-inch dip, or I mean, I'm sure it wasn't 9. It's probably like 6 inches. We definitely like went down. So I don't, maybe that was more like 6 inches, but it was enough to, you know, startle both of us. Yeah, but going back to what you were saying, man, the tools that there are today that you could use to write a report, and I mean, you're talking about, no offense, you're talking about writing a report for a construction project. They don't need you to be like Thoreau or William Shakespeare, right?
Yeah.
You just need, it's going to be about as objective as it gets. Like, keep it concise, to the point. Tell me how we're doing. What do you need? Where are we going to be tomorrow? Where are we going to be next week? That sort of stuff. Man, they got so many tools out there that can help you with it. You might not have to put any thought into it. So that would be the least thing I would worry about, is writing a report in today's environment with all the AI tools.
Yeah, I got to learn how to use what's that?
ChatGPT.
No, Word, and what's that other one?
Well, Word's the main one, but like PowerPoint.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, those are easy. I could teach you those. And honestly,
yeah.
I don't even know if you need to be able to use Word that much. As long as you can use like ChatGPT and what's that?
What's that?
So they have these things now. They're called LLMs. LLM is just short for large language model. And what they've done, so ChatGPT is this product that was built by a company called OpenAI. X, what used to be Twitter, Elon's platform, they also have one. It's called Grok. And what you can do is, in the search bar, in the search engine, so just like if you were going on Google, you know how you have a search bar and you type in something, and well, with these LLMs, you give it data like, here's all the info, I need you to write a report for me. And ChatGPT will write a report for you. What it'll do is it'll take all the information you have, it'll scour the interwebs all over the world. Well, put a pin in that. When we got here last time, it messed up by not taking the U-turn, right?
Yeah.
And now I shouldn't say messed up, because it still went left and left. I want to give it a chance here again to see what it does.
Redeem itself?
Let's see if it can redeem itself. Either way, it still got us to the hospital. Like, it wasn't an intervention. And the navigation is, I'm pretty sure it's showing a U-turn. But I want to see if there are, with any different, like, it's clearly showing U-turn, right? I mean, that, I don't, well, is it? I don't know. All right, we're getting over. Take that off the checklist, but it did that last time. All right, are we going to get over to the U-turn? Left lane must turn left, but yeah, we don't want to just turn left. We want to do a U-turn. But now we got people. See, that was the same thing that happened last time, is because there were cars in front of us that kept going straight and then left instead of doing a U-turn. I wonder if it does anything different this time. Ah, there we go, baby.
Yeah.
And it does that again. Like, why? I don't get it.
Probably because it's not confident. It's confused.
Yep. Like the navigation had it screwed up.
Yeah.
Because you could see it like sitting there thinking like, am I supposed to go do a U-turn? So that's what, on that one, I think the navigational data set it off for that. But it took the right route, but it wasn't, yeah, you were right. I don't think it was confident that it took the right one and where it was. And I wonder too, you notice how it had new pavement?
Yeah.
I wonder if there's something like they've done something different there. I don't know. All right, are we gonna go up in here?
Memorial Hermann, that's the biggest one?
Yeah, baby.
That's the main one?
Well, this is where you go to, right?
Yeah, no, I'm talking about that Memorial Hermann. That's
oh, yeah.
That's where they're gonna cut me open.
Is that the big one? Yeah, that's where they're gonna do the... All right, man, you want me to get out and help you out?
Yeah, if you can,
Yeah,
JC.
no problem, man. Let's see, home.
Man, that was quick, JC, man. I was like, man, it was a blessing. I really didn't want to be sitting still for an hour and a half, hour 20 minutes, even an hour. I don't know how long it took, but
dude, let's see. Let me do this. It's 4:45, but you were oh, here, I'll just put that in. I got 2 of them now.
Yeah. You didn't use it on this one?
I went in and there was like nobody here, so I just literally parked on the outside.
Yeah.
When you come here during the week, you can't do that because there's just too many cars and there's like security guards looking around and everything. So today I was just like, I went in there and I was like, there ain't nobody out like in front of the building. It's like, why am I parking in the park? So I went ahead and got out of it. And if you only do it for 15 minutes or less, they don't charge you. So I just got out of there and I literally was parked. You see where those cars are over there?
Yeah.
That's where I got in there and I was just like, I was caught up on some emails and went online and stuff like that. So, and honestly, I'm really glad I did not go anywhere because, dude, I don't think you were in there longer than an hour. So we were thinking it was going to be like a full 2 hours.
Yeah.
I think that was an hour. Like soup to nuts an hour. Yeah, a little bit once, yeah. Because you got you in there at 3:30, so like an hour and 15 minutes, soup to nuts. But that's like with prep time and everything.
Man, it was like 25 minutes I was in that machine. Probably not than that. Hopefully he did it right. You know what I mean? I don't want no blurry images or messed up images.
Well, this hospital here, the one that we went to, I mean, they're one of the best in the world, dude. So if they can't get it right, nobody can get it right. Yeah, this is the medical center for the world, man. So you're getting the best of the best of the best.
Yeah, when you go in the surgeon's office and he got some old like things.
Oh, so you saw the surgeon today?
No, I seen him when I was in that rehab.
Oh, yeah. When you were in the rehabilitation hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are the best doctors in the world, man. I mean, Houston, I know we're known for a lot of things, but one that doesn't get talked about is, I mean, this is the medical center to the world, right? So a lot of people, like if you go to the actual, like we're kind of on the outskirts of the medical center, but if you go like smack dab into the medical center, I mean, it's like, that's another downtown Houston, dude. I mean, that place is just as big as downtown, and quite frankly, even more energetic. It's the best hospitals in the world, the best surgeons, everything. We are the medical center for the world. So like when somebody needs like a really high caliber surgery done and they're like overseas, they'll fly into Houston for it. Especially like for the heart and brain, it's here. So you got the best of the best right there, man. That's probably why it was so quick. That's why they can do those MRIs like that. Because if anybody's going to have the top-notch imagery equipment, machinery, it's going to be the Houston Medical Center. That's not bad. 48 minutes. That's a lot better than it took us an hour and a half to get home.
Damn.
Last time. Of course, that was, we had rain, and it was during the week. Although the thing we have to combat with this time is weekend traffic. So we'll just see how, yeah, look at that, dude. It's crazy over there. Weekend. It's a Saturday at 5 p.m. Crazy. So, how long were you in the MRI machine? Like 30 minutes?
Yeah, probably less than that.
Wow.
I'll say 25 minutes.
Nice. Did you have to stay like perfectly still?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I had to breathe regular, couldn't breathe hard.
Man. Yeah, and so the fact that you got to think about that makes it even harder, right? The fact that you actually got to sit there and focus on breathing regular probably makes you breathe irregular.
Yeah.
Gives you anxiety. How far into the MRI machine? Was it a whole body thing or just upper body?
Just right here. I can see my legs.
Oh, okay.
My legs wasn't covered. Yeah, I was, as long as I see daylight, it makes me feel a little bit
That's better, yeah. So it's not like you're in like a suntan machine or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank goodness I didn't go anywhere. Because when I thought it was going to be 2 hours or so, I was like, let me go, maybe I'll go over to Rice University or walk around or go over to the museum district or downtown. It's like, man, had I done that, I'd just now be making my way back over to the hospital. You'd be sitting there for a while. So I'm glad you texted me and told me that it was only going to be an hour.
Oh, look at here.
Cybertruck. Look at that. No wrap on that one. It's au natural. Let's see.
See how it detects it as a truck?
Yeah, it just shows it as a regular truck. Yeah, it does not. See, Tesla ought to, at least on their UI, when a Cybertruck shows up, it ought to show up as a Cybertruck. Yeah, because that's exactly the same. Come on, Tesla. Update the UI, update the user interface. At least make the Cybertruck look like a Cybertruck. On 59 this time? At least we're further on 59 than the last time. Heck, it had us get off at Shepherd last time. So it's keeping us on 59 this go. That's what I was going to say. It's going to have to start getting over to the right though, because these two lanes got to go downtown in like a mile. It's getting all the way over to the right. Good Lord. So what's the next step? So I know you got your, obviously you got your bi-weekly physical therapy stuff, but so now that you got your MRI, is it just wait and listen that they'll call you when they're...
No, I got an appointment at a surgeon. We got to go back over here on the 5th.
On December 5th?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I got physical therapy on the 6th. And that should be it until further notice.
Till further. So you got one more appointment on the 5th with these guys. Same place. Exact same place. And is that just like a checkup appointment or something? Or are they doing something else?
Yeah, they're going to tell me, they're going to look at the disc and tell me when the surgery is.
For the back? Yeah. Everything today was for your upcoming back surgery, right?
Yeah, and then they want to make sure the top healed and nothing's out of place.
And they said well, that's what the MRI also, so they don't know yet. So they'll be able to tell. So that's probably it too. When you come back on the 5th, they'll have a better game plan.
Yeah.
Tell you everything is good to go, and then I guess at that point they'll set a date for the back surgery.
Yeah.
You'll get admitted a day or two before to prep.
Probably.
Yeah, they always do that. You can't just walk in there. I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong. Usually they like to have you in there about 24 hours before your surgery for prep and everything.
Or walk in there, put on a gown, just
go.
Drug me up in. I think they did that last time. I think I did that.
Well, but because you walked in, it was an emergency.
No. When I had head surgery.
Head surgery?
Yeah, I had a tumor on top of my head.
Oh shit! When was this, dude?
About 2011.
Oh, so before I knew you. Damn, son, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was on the outer scalp.
Well, still, freaking tumor in your head. That's a big. I mean, I'm glad. Obviously, it worked out. We're 13 years later. Didn't make you any brighter, but I'm just messing with you, man. It's like, man, at least give me some IQ points.
I think I walked out the hospital the same day of the surgery.
Really?
Yeah.
So it must not have been that invasive. It must have been like right on top of the scalp.
Yeah, and I was the surgeon's last. He retired after me.
Oh damn.
Yeah, I was his last surgery.
He's like, I ain't doing this anymore. Not after this dude. Jeez, how did they find? I mean, were you having like really, really bad headaches?
No, I just felt like a soft spot on top of my head.
Gotcha.
Like a lump.
Oh, really? And it was clear. It was like, okay, this is weird.
Yeah, it never went away. I was like, hey, what's going on?
But there was no pain or anything?
No.
Wow. So had you not noticed that, it could have just kept growing.
Yeah.
That's scary, man. Well, I'm assuming if you'd have just let it keep growing, then eventually you would have started feeling something, like having some headaches.
Yeah.
Dude, well, I'm glad you went and got that checked out. You're pretty good about that. You go to the doctor if you need to. But you said like you showed up and they were able to take care of it right then and there. That is a huge Chevy Tahoe. It's pretty though. I like it. I don't like the way it just pulled out like that. So aggressive. Now that you're going to turn around, there you go. But it is a beautiful, beautiful vehicle. Man, I like that. I'm not exactly sure what they accomplished right there. Chevy Tahoe, it looks pretty similar to the Cadillac Escalade. I call it a 4-ton hotel room on wheels. A lot of folks have been telling Elon that's what they want. They want Tesla to do an SUV.
Yeah, he'll do it too.
Yeah. I think if they did a SUV that could fit a family of, say, 8, like in that, usually a typical SUV is 2 rows and 2 front seats, right? So technically you could fit 8. It'd be pretty harsh, but you could do it. 3, 3, and 2. And that's the way most SUVs are today, right? Yeah. If they did that, I think those things would sell like hotcakes. And you could sell them at a premium too, right? People will pay premiums for 8-seater SUVs.
Yeah, it'll make it some weird shape.
I think even if it was made a weird shape, people would still buy it. With all the tech that it would have in it. That's the thing. Once you sit in one and you actually drive it, I've yet to hear anybody who was like on the fence about the look of the Cybertruck, then they get in and drive one, and then they buy one. All of them. You just got to drive it.
My guess is he's making he's in the process of making flying vehicles.
You know what, Sin? I ain't gonna laugh at you on that one. I know you're not. I would not. I bet you could be right, man.
He's not worried about these vehicles. He's not worried about that. He's worried about us.
Yeah, Elon is all like people. You know that. You know how they say somebody like, oh, he's a step ahead or he's 2 steps ahead. Elon, that dude's like a dozen steps ahead of people. Like he's thinking so many steps ahead, and it creates 2 things that I've witnessed since I've been in the Tesla community. Number one, like just the best and most outlandish products you're ever going to see. Like my Model S that I had, the Model S Plaid, and this Model 3 refresh, 2 of the best vehicles I've ever owned, period. Like the 2 best I've ever owned. But he also creates the Cybertruck, which when I first saw that thing 5 years ago when they unveiled it, I was like, what? And you know, so he's going to be out there, right? So you got that. But on the other hand, because he's so many steps ahead of people, there are people in our community that don't think he's focused on Tesla enough, or don't think he's focused on SpaceX. Like, but you just said it, and you're not even in the community, right? You're like, yeah, that's how he thinks. Like, in other words, a dude like Elon, you're basically saying, I would never expect him to be myopically focused on only one thing all the time, right? I don't want to put words in your mouth, but
he's on another level.
He's what is it? Key and Peele, whole nother level. Yeah, but yeah, there's folks. I just laugh at them. They're like, but I want him focused on Tesla, and it's like, dude, like, have you seen this dude before? Like, did you just wake up and read about Elon Musk? My God, this guy is all over the place. But that's how he operates the best, is just being like chaotic and all over the place. So you want that dude spending 30 minutes a day thinking about Mars, 30 minutes a day thinking about the Cybertruck, 30 minutes a day thinking about boring tunnels under Las Vegas. And that, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I was thinking too. What happened to this tunnel system in
That's going strong, man. Yeah. They've got a tunnel in Las Vegas. They're going to try to do one in like, I don't know if it's Austin or Bastrop or somewhere around that. That's one of his business I probably know the least about. He's got the Neuralink thing where they're putting chip. You see that kid? His name is Nolan. I forget his last. I think it's Arball or Arbuckle or something like that. But this kid's like playing chess with his brain, moving chess pieces with his brain, dude. That's some Walmart chip in your neck type stuff. Oh, man.
Uh-oh, they're missing some signs.
Look at that. I wonder what happened. Somebody shot it off?
No, they just, I don't know. They got to shut down this freeway to put it back up, but I doubt that's going to happen.
I don't think you'd have to shut down the freeway to do that. I think they could, let me see.
It's going to fall on somebody. You know,
yeah.
You got to shut down this lane.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you meant just to fix it, like, because I don't know if that.
They got to replace it. You can't fix it. You got to replace it.
Yeah. Well, I guess if you could do it quick enough, you get out here about like 3 o'clock in the morning on a weekend. That's why sometimes they'll do the road construction at night on the weekends. Have you seen that? Like you think you're just gonna coast, like, oh man, it's Saturday night, and it's 1 a.m. We'll be good to go. And then you get there and it's one lane, and it's like worse traffic than during the weekdays because they got the road crew out there at that time.
Yeah, it's impossible to get a road crew out here. Good luck. You're gonna shut down everything.
Yeah, nah, right here is tough just because it's a spaghetti junction, right? Everything you got 59, 45, 610. You got 3 major roadways all kind of intersecting around here. And that Dodge Caravan, it's surprised they weren't able to get a new car out of that right there.
Yeah. So when that sign chipped off, it had to fall on someone's car and someone had to.
Oh, I'm sure it did. Hopefully they got taken care of. Or hopefully it didn't fall on somebody's car. Hopefully it fell when nobody was driving by. But then somebody would have driven over it. They may have had some damage. Yeah, I mean, those are pretty damn sturdy signs, man. I wonder what would make...
Pretty damn heavy, too.
Yeah, like what would make those things fall?
Hurricane winds.
Well, we haven't had any hurricane winds in a while. And that's pretty new. Like, I've driven through here before. That has had to have happened pretty recently. Like in the last week or so. It's almost like you wonder, did some kids climb up there and mess with it? Because you can do that. Those type of kids will crawl up there and paint graffiti and stuff, do their artwork. Oh, look at the lights are on at Minute Maid. I don't know what the hell would be going on over there.
I think they got some kind of golf. They opened it up to some kind of golf.
Oh, did they? Like a corporate outing or something?
No, like kind of like golfing.
Oh, like putt putt?
Like, yeah, Top Golf.
Really?
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool, man. Do Top Golf at Minute Maid Park. 2 was telling me they're going to change the name of the park. That it's not going to be Minute Maid anymore. I didn't.
Some kind of Japanese name.
Oh, interesting. I did not know that. Well, this will be the 3rd name it's had then.
Wasn't one before.
Enron Field. Yeah. Yeah, that didn't last very long. But yeah, the very first name of Minute Maid, it was Enron. So it was Enron Field, and then obviously Enron went belly up. That went away. And I'm trying to remember, like Minute Maid, like the next corporate sponsor was Minute Maid. They definitely took it up. But I can't remember if it had no name for a while. Just trying to remember, like if it was just like Astros Field or something for a year before Minute Maid, or maybe Minute Maid took it over right as soon as Enron lost it. Yeah, I can remember too when it was. There's probably still some pictures out there on the internet when it was Enron Field and they had the sign out there. But that was only, I want to say, a couple of years. So it's been Minute Maid Park for over 20 years. And then we got the Toyota Center downtown. Rockets play there. They used to play at the Summit, which is now the Olsteins or Osteens, or however you pronounce it. Joel Osteen.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, he's got where his church is, that used to be where the Rockets played. That's where they won their 2 world championships, was right there where Joel Osteen preaches.
Wow.
Yeah. It used to be called the Summit. So the Summit, yeah, it's funny. Think about it. Where the Joel Osteen has his church now, that big mega church. That was where the Rockets played all their home games, where they won the 2 world championships back in 94 and 95. All the concerts were there. So you think about all the things that would have happened. And those same walls right there. Yeah, in fact, I went and saw my very first concert ever at the Summit. Journey. Bryan Adams opened up for him. Journey was the headliner. I think it was 1982. Yeah, I think it was either 1981 or 82, but that was my very first concert. The Journey Escape Tour. And they had, you've heard of Bryan Adams, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bryan Adams opened up for him. And I want to say somebody else, like that is a huge name now, but was just like a little opening. Bryan Adams is obviously the one that comes to mind, because obviously he really became big. But yeah, in 1982 or 81, he was just a little opening act. But that was my very first concert. And then my next concert was Herbie Hancock. You remember him?
Jazz?
No, well, kind of jazz, but it was like kind of hip hop, but like when breakdancing was big. So breakdancing got really big everywhere. Like obviously it came out of New York, but like in 1983, 84, my God, Sid. Well, you were too young to remember them, but I would say, I see, like right around 1983, it just popped off. And I think it was because Michael Jackson did it in a couple of his videos, but it just popped. And so Herbie Hancock, he had done a couple of soundtracks to a couple of movies that were about breakdancing. In fact, I think one of them was called Breakdance or Breakin' or something like that. But anyway, it was a huge concert. And so it was obviously like a bunch of kids, you know, I was 15 at the time. So probably now I'd look back on that and say it was corny. But back then when you're 15 and it's early 80s, that was... So it's kind of like going to Power Rangers. But I thought it was really cool at the time. And it had a bunch of break dancers and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool. And then I saw David Lee Roth when he was solo. I never got to see Van Halen live with David Lee Roth, but I did get to see David Lee Roth solo. That would have been 1986, and Poison opened up for him. So Poison was still an opening act in 1986. And then I saw Metallica in 1986, and that was when they were doing the Master of Puppets.
Is that a good concert?
I will tell you, the 2 best concerts I've ever been to was Metallica in 1986 and Metallica in like 2019.
Yeah.
Dude, they are so good. Like I would say I've seen Metallica 3 times live. The first one was way back in the day in 86, and it was like, and that was not Toyota Center. That was like at freaking Numbers or something. It was, where was that? Yeah, they were not like here, at least in the United States, they were not like a stadium band yet. They were still kind of on the come up. But I want to say it was like Red Hot Chili Peppers opened up for them, like was on tour with them at that time. Because that was, you know, people forget Red Hot Chili Peppers kind of got, you know, I wouldn't say they got pop, but like by that early 90s, you know, they were on MTV a lot. But if you go back to like 1986, 87, Red Hot Chili Peppers was pretty hardcore, man. They were kind of like Korn before Korn. Does that make sense? and Zach went to Ozfest not long ago, about 5 years ago, right?
Warped Tour.
Warped Tour, that's right. How was that?
It was alright.
It was all right. It was not. I mean,
It was cool.
a lot of times those festivals are just okay because you're not getting the best from those guys, right? Because they got like 15 acts they got to get through. So it's like, all right, you come up and do your 3 best songs. And they're all just getting screwed up. They're getting, you know what, in the back. Because it's like a big party for them. So you're not getting like, they know they don't have to go up there and deliver for 2 hours straight, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm a rock band in my heyday and I'm on a festival where literally all I got to do is 3 songs, 15 to 20 minutes. What do you think those dudes are doing backstage? They're going nuts. But even if I'm Poison in my heyday, even if I'm Motley Crue in my heyday, I know I got to go out there and deliver for 2 hours. So they're probably going to hold off until they're done, right? Now, once they're done, Katie barred the door. Especially Motley Crue, man. That's somebody I wish I would have gotten to see way back in the day. I wish I could have seen Motley Crue in concert. I heard they were just phenomenal. Like especially Tommy Lee on the drums. He'd have that drum machine that would spin him upside down and like take him all, like his entire, like his drum set and everything, just take him around the arena. That would have been so cool. But unfortunately, as the going says, in the game of life, drugs 1, you 0. And drugs finally caught up with all of them. But it was a great ride while it lasted. They were one of my favorite bands when I was coming. It was Motley Crue. Motley Crue, Metallica. I actually like Guns N' Roses a lot too. For me, Axl Rose was just, I don't know. I'm sure he's a lot better today, but he just kind of came off to me as just like an idiot. Like a beautiful voice, extremely like uber talented, but just didn't have his head in the game, you know what I mean?
I like Guns N' Roses.
I love Guns N' Roses. It's just I was never going to buy a ticket to go see a Guns N' Roses concert. Because you don't, if Axl's going to show. And even when he did show, sometimes the shows got shut down. He was not in a good place at that time. Man, but his voice, whew, still in my mind, one of the best voices ever in rock music. Like maybe the best voice. We're just talking about, you know, rock, heavy metal, that sort of stuff. I don't think anybody's ever had as good of a voice. Maybe Freddie Mercury of Queen, but I think Axl Rose is legit 1 or 2. Just voice, right? Just open up your freaking lungs and larynx and let it out. It doesn't get any better than Axl Rose. But like I said, maybe Freddie Mercury you put in that category. Freddie wasn't as hard, like heavy metal though, as Guns N' Roses was. Freddie, they were definitely, you know, heavy rock and roll. They had some pretty hardcore licks, but I don't think they were as heavy as Guns N' Roses was, especially when Guns N' Roses first came out. But nobody was as wild as Freddie. Talking about fat bottom girls when you know he doesn't want to have a thing to do with girls. Oh, Freddie, he was funny as hell, man. Great talent. Yeah, that's the funny thing. If somebody were to ask me what are the most politically incorrect songs from the 70s and 80s, it's Queen and Freddie Mercury, ironically. Man, they had some just great music. Outstanding. Yeah, I don't think you could write a song called Fat Bottom Girls. And it wasn't just the title of the song, it was what was in the song. I think the only band that came close to being maybe as politically incorrect would have been AC/DC. They had some pretty, whole lot of Rosie. And then quite a few other songs that talked about stuff they might like to do if they ever met Rosie. Freddie had a bunch of songs like that too. Just funny with hindsight. They give you any new med prescriptions, or you got the same ones?
Same ones.
Same ones, gotcha. That's cool. About 10 more minutes. Yeah, we're gonna get home a lot quicker today than the other day. Man, we thought we weren't even going to be leaving there until between 6 and 6:30, and we're going to be home around 5:30. Right?
Yep.
That's awesome. LiftedTrucks.com. Man, all those trucks are high too. Did you see that? That lot over there? I guess they specialize in lifted trucks. He looks pretty lifted. That's only a 150. I swear to God, when it drove by, I thought that was a 250 at least.
Yeah.
Now I can tell. Yeah, the bed's pretty short. Your truck is about the equivalent of a 250, right?
No. 1500.
Oh, so it's a 150 equivalent. Looks a lot bigger than the 150 though.
Yeah. Oh man.
May still be able to catch some football.
Yeah.
Cadillac Escalade. Look at that thing. That thing is huge. It's humongous. And of course, it's two women driving it. It's probably just every time I see a Cadillac Escalade that's that big, I mean, it doesn't matter. It's just funny to me that it's like a mom. But you know what? That makes actual sense, right? Because if you got a bunch of kids and stuff that you're hauling around. Not that I'm assuming all women are hauling around kids and stuff. You know what I mean? I guess the Escalade would make sense. Look at that. He's got Christmas decorations on his truck. Oh, you can't look at that. Sorry about that.
I seen it.
You saw it. Dodge Ram truck. That's a nice little truck. How long have you had your GMC now?
It's a year and a half.
Year and a half. How long you think you're gonna just stay with that one for a while, or are you thinking about getting another one sometime soon?
I don't know. I'm in no shape to get a new one.
Yeah, right now, no. You don't even drive it. Yeah, not even worth thinking about right now. No. That's where I got Zach's first car from. That Honda dealer. Got him. and then Jamie helped me get Zoe's car and Wyatt's car. That Honda dealership was where I first learned how good 2 is at haggling. Man, I want to say she saved me $5,000. Maybe not that much, but damn, like $2,000 or $3,000 on that Honda that I got for Zach way back in the day. Gosh, that was 7-8 years ago now. Yeah, whenever he got his first car. Yeah, because I got him a car when he was 16. But nothing special. It was a Honda Civic. But he loved it. He drove the living wheels off of that thing. Well, you rode in it before, didn't you? You rode in it when we went to Panama City, Florida. Was it in his car that you rode? Or
no, I have my own car.
That's right. Why did I think y'all rode together? For some reason I thought we did a road trip where you and Zach and who's Zach's buddy's name? Ross. That y'all were in a car together. For some reason. Maybe I'm wrong. But you're right. You were in your own truck. I remember that now. In fact, you met us there, right? From a thing you were on. Yeah. Construction site. I wonder what that big mound is there for. I guess is that just where they dug out? Yeah, because they're going to put a pond and I guess a fountain there.
Oh, okay.
So maybe that's what it is. Maybe
like a drainage system,
yeah, yeah. And just to have like a nice pond and fountain, kind of like they have at when you first turn onto Kingwood Drive from 59. I guess they're going to put, yeah, because that's what they're digging the same thing out there. I mean, at least I get it. Makes sense. Make it kind of nicer, more pleasing to the eye. That's funny. It's having us go the back way, even right now. So North Park must be
super crowded.
Yeah, but that makes sense. It's 5:30 on a Saturday night with all that construction too.
Hey, what time did they when you was at the train track? What time was it? That thing happened.
What thing happened?
It stalled.
Oh, that was like nighttime. That was what time of night? So it wasn't like late. So it wasn't like something like midnight or 1 a.m. It was probably like 9 o'clock at night type of thing. Like I was going to HEB to run some errands for 2. So she had sent me, yeah, she wanted me to go to HEB to go get some things. And so it was one of those, you know, it was nothing. It was like a 9, probably like 9:30. Just run it. But it was pitch black, right? So it was not too damn late, but late enough for it to already be just pitch black. Yeah, and it was, so I was coming the opposite direction. So it wasn't going this way. So like where the van is right there,
yeah,
right there, I was right there. Like literally exactly where that, is that a van or a cop? Or is it somebody that wants to be a cop?
I don't know.
You know how people buy?
Oh, it could be a sheriff. It looks like a sheriff, yeah.
Yeah, but you never know around here. There's so many. That one. Yeah, that's enough. Yeah. So right. I mean, literally, yeah, it is a sheriff. Wave to me. Oh, and she. Hey, you see that?
Yeah, she was on her phone.
Yeah, she's pretty cute. No, well, they not phone, but whatever, their dispatch. But yeah, it was right there on, like literally on top of the train tracks. Right there. but go in the opposite direction than when we just came. It was nobody behind me, nobody in front of me, no oncoming traffic, nothing to wait for. Never did that before, has never done that since. So yeah, it was, because at the time, obviously, you don't see what's on you, you know, because that it all happens in a blink of an eye, right? And of course, at the time, I'm looking around to see if there's like dogs or cats or something, maybe like a shit around there. There's even armadillos, you know. So
Yeah.
and the Tesla will pick up animals, like not just big dogs, but it'll pick up things the size of a possum or an armadillo. I don't think it picks up squirrels. Like, I've seen squirrels dart across, and like I don't think I've seen the Tesla like try to slow down for a squirrel. So I don't know if it's picking them up. But dogs, cats, possums, armadillos, all, you know, that size and bigger, absolutely. And so that's what I thought it was. I thought something had come out of, because you know that area right there is swampy, you know, where that ditch is. So I thought something had come up out of there towards the tracks, and it just made the Tesla freeze. And I was about to push the accelerator, and right when I was about to push it, it went. And it wasn't until I got home. And you know me, I always roll the video. I'm always videoing my drives, because the reason I video my drives is they almost always work out great. And so some folks don't believe it, and so I'm like, well, only way I can do it is just roll the tape. Tape don't lie, right? Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. That was pretty good, huh, Sin?
Yeah.
That was really good. That was human-like. But anyway, so yeah, I'm always videoing. I video everything and just throw it out there. It's like, okay, well, like, here it is. But anyway, yeah, so I knew I had the video. So when I got home, I took a look at it, and I was like, wait a second, what the hell? Because I was looking to see if like a dog or something was, and it was like the form of like they have a different like when it's a person, I don't know, maybe we'll see it if there's somebody walking on the sidewalk. If you haven't seen it before, the user interface definitely differentiates between people and other objects. Like it'll, and so yeah, it literally was like, it showed a person walking this way towards me on the tracks, came to my door, like right there, right at my mirror right there, and then walked away. And as soon as that figure walked away, that's when the car went forward. So I actually didn't have to intervene. I thought I was gonna have to intervene, and I didn't have to. So moral of the story, don't go walking down those train tracks at night.
Nah.
All right, we're about to, let me see look at that. Look, just like that. Look like that. See what a bike rider looks. Oh, they got 3 wheels, but it's just going to show up as one bike.